All right, so how did I get to this point? There's a lot of misinformation, a lot of half-truths, improper improper placement of lines. We're going to go through this once and for all, neat and clean, on how to replace the fuel system on, in this case, the Poulan Pro PP 5020 AV, but it's the same for Craftsman, Husqvarna, and it's going to be a step-by-step with all of the errors I saw in all the other videos corrected. Stay tuned. Alright, so the unit I'm working on today is a Poulan Pro P5020 AV. These instructions are going to work for just about every small engine. It has primer bulb and whatnot. Especially the Husqvarnas and the Craftsmans, you know, when it comes to chainsaws, but really anything. Leaf blowers, you name it. So, what we're going to need is a T25 Torx for this particular one, a pair of scissors to cut angles on the fuel lines, and two different size forceps that I used. Anyway, what I purchased is a fuel line kit. It's a 5.3 00695999. If you need to pause the video, do that. But this kit includes, and I've already used a lot of this fuel line because I already did the job. I'm just going to go over it because the help I was getting off of the YouTube videos that I was watching were not entirely accurate. So two sizes of fuel line come with this. A little bit larger diameter, a little bit smaller diameter. The smaller diameter goes from the fuel filter directly to the carburetor. All right, I saw a lot of videos where people were putting that piece in between. All right, you want a straight line, the smaller line, from the filter to the carburetor. This piece is used at the end of the return line from the bulb to the top of the tank, and that'll keep that return line from pulling back through the tank. That's all that's for. So you pull your line through, and I'll show you this. You pull your line through, you put that on the end, and then you pull it back, and then this will kind of into the top of the tank, prevent it from being pulled through. Other than the line to the carburetor from the fuel filter, we have this larger diameter. You use the larger diameter so that you don't restrict the flow of the fuel back to the tank. So anyway, so you have this comes off the other side of the carburetor, goes to the bulb. One end goes into the bulb, the other end goes out of the bulb to the top of the tank. And then on that end, that's where you put this inside the top of the tank. All right, so let's see. Let's get this party rolling here. I'll show you undoing this particular unit. But again, yours may be different. Doesn't matter. Air filter off. This one has three T25s. Flip that back up out of the way. And finally this one. That's going to allow this piece, put the chain brake forward, to come off. Okay, now there's some on the side here. It's going to be a lot easier if you take the side off. So, yeah, I saw people putting, mine was a little difficult to figure out, quite frankly, because someone else had borrowed the unit. They had messed with the fuel lines. They weren't laid out properly. So watching the videos, it didn't have the layout done properly. So I ended up pulling this thing apart 2 or 3 times. Would it have worked? Sure. I wanted it right though. So now you're going to watch this video. You're going to know how to do it right from the start. I need you guys to hit thumbs up on this thing so we can get it, close to, get it up on the search results. Because again, there's just so much out there that was just confusing or whatever. So this comes off. We'll cover here. Now we can see what we're doing. So we have the bulb. A lot of guys did all kinds of stuff on how to test the bulb, what side's the bulb, with liquid and all that. All you have to do is pull the bulb out, and then a lot of you are going to be lucky. You're going to have a couple screws that hold your bulb in place. There'll be a retainer for the bulb. Okay, mine's my particular one. You have to very carefully, there's a retainer down, it's just a little plastic clip, kind of cheapy for this. I'd have much rather had the screws, but you can look at yours and figure out, this is going to be the hard part, isn't it, for me. There. See that? So they just kind of clip into place. So basically, here's what we have. We have coming off the side of the, what do you call it, carburetor, going to the bulb. Now you can tell which way the bulb is going when it's unhooked by just pushing. If it's sucking in, because that's what this does. This is this sucks fuel through the carburetor, and then this pushes out. So all you have to do is test the bulb if you can't figure out which direction it's going. Let's see which side of the bulb is, and I'm going to draw a real quick diagram for you. But then that just goes into the top of the tank. All right. See if I can get it better in there better. I didn't even have to take the carburetor off to do this. So you have the return line that goes into the top of the tank. See if we can get light on it. And then you have the feed line, the draw line that goes to the other side of the bulb. And then from it's always tight. Pull this out. Reach in here. And I gotta put it on the side because the fuel filter wants to set this like this. So there's the fuel filter on the end of the small diameter fuel line. Then that just goes up. Now what you do is you feed it down from the top. Now how do you do that? You take your fuel line and you cut it at an extreme angle. I'm trying to line this up so you can see it. You get yourself a better pair of scissors than I have here. I did it with a blade. Oh, where's the blade? Those scissors suck. Okay, and you could even do better than that. So basically, but once that sticks through the top of the tank, and you can use the forceps to get it through the top of the tank. Small set is what I used for that. And then I just look in through the tank, and that's why you need forceps. You can look in through the tank, see it, grab onto the end of it, because at least that much is going to be sticking through. Okay, click it in, and just pull it through. All right, once you get it through, then you square off the end and put your fuel filter on. And then you can back it back through and leave however much you want, just making sure that the fuel line, you know, the fuel filter is going to sit in the bottom of the tank easily. And then it runs over to this side. Let's get this light. Runs over to this side and plugs in right there. There's plenty of room to be moving the stuff in and around. If you want to take off, you know, the carburetor, then that's fine. But I didn't have to. The big thing that I'm going over here, quite frankly, is the fact that there was so much misleading, again, and incorrect information. So basically, you've got your tank. Okay, then you have your carburetor. Just put a C in it. Then you're going to have your bulb. All right, from your tank to the carburetor is one line, the small one. All right, from the other side of the carburetor to the bulb is larger diameter. Okay, and then from the bulb to the top of the tank with that little nipple end thing on it. So you feed the line through the top of the tank, you pull it far enough through, you square it off, you put this nipple on it, and then you just pull that return line that's going back, that goes to the bulb, comes from the bulb actually, it would be the better, because this is the route of the fuel. It goes like this. All right. Then you just put it all back together. Right? The point of the matter is, like I said, I ended up taking it apart a couple of times because whoever, the person I lent the chainsaw to, they had reversed the lines going to the bulb. They had the thick line hooked up with this little connector to the fuel filter. So it was just all backward. But it ran, but it's not exactly right. So now you've seen how to do it exactly right. Again, please give it a thumbs up. Let's try to get this to the top so that a lot of people don't waste as much time as I did. It should have been a 15-minute job. I ended up having to do it 3 times because every time I turned around I found, oh, here, I should have done it this way because that's more correct. All right. Thank you. And apologies to my normal people that watch. This is not the kind of video that I usually put up. Normally it's about motorcycles, stuff like that. So if this is entirely boring to them, I apologize for that. But hopefully I've helped you guys out and keep you from wasting some time. Take care. Thank you. I'm gonna prime her up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It says 9 or 6 times, whatever. Upside down. Pull that choke all the way out.